What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Of course, our guy Myron is finding many ways to eliminate himself from the content creator community. He is still over on X, weaving, sailing, and dusting it up. He is still booty clapping over there, and obviously it's the same thing. There's no real content coming out of what he does. It's just yelling on the microphone and shouting many obscenities. And one of the reasons that he can do that, outside of being, going back and being demonetized on X and kicked off every other platform, is because America believes in something called free speech. Now, again, this is not free, because there is a difference between free speech and then there is hate speech. Freedom of speech typically gives you the right to criticize the government, okay, the United States government or any government in which you live, without fearing retaliation from said government. That's typically how freedom of speech works. If we are dealing with how you feel about another race, now if you want to express your ideas, that is correct, but you could pay consequences for those ideas. If you talk about somebody like gays, blacks, Jews, Asians, whoever the case may be, and most people would have somewhat of an opinion on all of these things. Some of those opinions could be offensive, and it is okay to have your opinions as long as they are not publicly expressed where you can receive a consequence from said opinion. When it comes to Myron, he conflates that freedom of speech is hate speech, which is interesting because it is not. So a lot of red pill content creators will say, my freedom of speech is being prohibited when you are on a social media website that you don't own, such as X, which has rules against such topics, or YouTube, which has such rules against such topics, or Facebook. So you don't have freedom of speech to be disrespectful to people when they are the ones that set the rules to be on the platform. And I'm going to tell you what kind of things get Myron in trouble.
Want to be gay? No kids for you. Want to be a no kids for you. Not sure what your gender is? Too bad. Can't work at a school around kids and read them books.
Then there's also this.
Hitler was right about y'all, because the reality is this: you guys come into a country, you push your pornography, you push the central banking, you push your degeneracy, you push the LGBT community, you push all this bullshit into a society, you destroy it from within, and then you guys go ahead and then you band together, you practice nepotism, you keep each other at the highest levels of echelons of government and everything else.
Let me say this, okay? X will let this rock. This is not unbecoming of X. We already know that X can do such a thing, but hear me out. That is the United States. I don't think anybody's gonna really just beat Myron up or fight him. Some people might do that, but it's probably unlikely. The problem is when you try to go into other countries and you are already known as a person that is a misogynist, you are a person that is hateful. And this is what happened to Myron, because he was supposed to go to the UK. He's been there before, and when he was there in the UK, he was very disrespectful on podcasts. He was talking trash to many of the women there. And of course, the powers that be, once you want to get as big as he does and go viral, they understand that. Then this guy, Dom Lucree, he posed prominent, fresh, and fit host Myron had to cancel his trip to the United Kingdom after he found out he could be arrested upon arrival, I guess, for his tweets in the United States. Now, look at James Buckley. He says this: I can't believe this is happening in a Western democracy. Rent-free American says this is why America needs to rethink its allies. How can we be aligned with nations that do not align with our core values? Freedom of speech is number one on the list if you're not paying attention. AKA says, good call. I won't even land in the UK via layaway at this point. Myron says this: the UK is a failed nation. Idiots showed up in red coats in 1776 and got their behinds whooped. Now they are mad at me. And we can call it what we want. You can say what we want. But here is the issue. The United Kingdom does not want somebody like Myron coming into its nation and doing what they will call some level of influence or an insurrection of toxicity amongst their citizens. They do not want to promote that, and allowing him to come into the country would be an example of that. There have been several people, I believe at a certain particular time, Tariq Nasheed was banned from, and maybe still is, from the UK. I don't know why that was the case, but it definitely was true. He could not go and promote his Hidden Colors there. That happened. And again, sometimes that, I know Snoop Dogg at one time could not come into the United Kingdom, but when it comes to Myron, I can see exactly why this would happen. Okay? And I'm not trying to say it shouldn't happen, but I can see exactly why it wouldn't happen. And that is because you are not going to have influence on their community. And they see that what you do is stupid, so they don't want you there. Here is the issue for somebody like Myron. This is what the impact is. Just like Candace Owens couldn't go to Australia or New Zealand, the only person you're hurting when you can't, or when you're not, when you're unfamily friendly and you're doing this, the only people that you're hurting is yourself. You already are banned off all the platforms that make money. Now you can't go to the UK. You can't throw events there. You can't make money for yourself. You can't make opportunities for yourself. And you continue to find a reason as to why people just shouldn't do any business with you or why they shouldn't trust you. And when you look at this all together, I don't understand what you get out of this, okay? Here is a way to blow $1 million ideas. If you look at some of the other guys like IShowSpeed, who knows what IShowSpeed really feels about women? Okay, let's take that for example. IShowSpeed is all in China, all in Turkey. Whenever you see he's online, there's hundreds of thousands. I don't know if there's over millions of viewers at one time. The kid is no older than 21, but he's being recognized everywhere around the world. Who cares what his position on women is? His position is to be successful. And if he has a position that is unfavorable, then what he should do is keep that position to himself. If the position, let me say it again, is unfavorable, he should take the time to keep such a position to himself. I'm gonna say it again for those of you in the back. If he has a position which is unfavorable, it should be to himself. And this is what the majority, if not all men, need to understand. Once you get the money, once you get the communities, once you get the power, once you get the things that you need, then you at that point have the ability to fight back from the things that you don't like. There is your opportunity once you do that, but you can't do it if you don't have money, if you don't have finances. This is what the Jews do, and Myron's mad at the Jews. But we gotta look back and look at the game, look at the success. Listen, they worked, they built their self up, they invested in the industries, they educate their people, and now they push agendas. Their agenda is through Donald Trump right now. Like it or not, it's how you do it. You don't get an agenda going through by being out there throwing your commentary at people when you need these people in the private sector to pay you to do things for you to be successful. It is how the world works. Once you cut your money lifeline off, you are just a person with an opinion. Look at Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast, how does he feel about women? It doesn't matter. He's a billionaire now. He'll keep it to himself. How does LeBron James feel about women? I guarantee you, if we were able to get him by himself and ask him about it, and there was nobody there to record him, he would tell us. But does he got to talk about it? No. Because LeBron James can get anybody if he wanted. LeBron James could just let somebody go if he wanted. It wouldn't matter. They would be gone. Facts. Okay? They would be out of there. Would it matter? Hell no. Because it's LeBron James. And more men need to understand that people care less about your opinions and more about what you produce. And the more that you produce and you work with other people and you reinvest into your people, then eventually what you would say will work. Because you won't have to get out there and say it, you'll be able to pay a politician and then they will be able to go ahead and pass it for you, and then it wouldn't matter. But it takes work. And now Myron just cut off his financial blood to go to the UK and do things. Now he's down bad. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Yoshi Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I already put you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.